If you're watching this, you're probably tired of seeing your bank account looking emptier than a lecture hall during spring break. But don't worry, I'm about to show you how to save $1,000 in just 30 days. And no, it doesn't involve selling your textbooks or living off instant ramen. Here's the thing. Saving money isn't about making massive sacrifices or having a six-figure job. It's about being smart with what you have and finding creative ways to stack those dollars. Before we continue, if you are curious about how to start earning passive income with $100, you can access the video in the cards section. Before we dive into the specific strategies, let's talk about something that nobody mentions in money-saving videos: your mindset. Yeah, I know, sounds a bit cheesy, but stick with me here. Think of saving money like playing a video game. Every dollar you save is a point scored. Every unnecessary purchase avoided is a boss battle won. And that $1,000 goal, that's your final level. The best part? You get to keep all the loot in real life. Here's what you need to know about the next 30 days. First, we're going to break down that intimidating $1,000 into daily goals. That's about $33.33 per day. Sounds more manageable already, right? Second, we're going to use what I call the triple threat approach. 1. Cutting expenses without cutting out the fun. 2. Boosting income with methods that actually work for students. 3. Automating savings so you can't talk yourself out of it. But here's the real secret, and this is something most financial gurus won't tell you. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You just need to be consistent with a few key strategies that work for your lifestyle. I know what you're thinking. Sure, this sounds great, but I've tried saving before and it never works. Well, that's because most advice out there isn't made for real students living real lives. They don't account for things like random club fees that pop up, that textbook your professor springs on you mid-semester, the impulse bubble tea purchases when you're stressed about finals. In this series, we're going to tackle all of that. We'll look at realistic solutions that work, even if you have an irregular schedule, share expenses with roommates, can't resist a good happy hour deal, are juggling studies, work, and a social life. Here's what makes our approach different. We're not just going to focus on saying no to things. Instead, we're going to get creative about saying yes to smart alternatives. Because let's be honest, if a money-saving strategy makes you miserable, you won't stick to it. In the next few sections, we'll break down exactly where your money is probably disappearing to right now and how to plug those leaks. How to find extra cash in places you wouldn't expect. The exact apps and tools that make saving almost automatic. And most importantly, how to do all this while still having a life. But before we dive into all that, I want you to do something right now. Grab your phone, open your banking app, and take a screenshot of your current balance. This is going to be your before picture in this 30-day transformation. Ready to turn your financial situation around? Let's get into the specific strategies in our next section. Trust me, by the end of this series, that screenshot is going to be a reminder of where you started on your journey to becoming a money master. And speaking of mastering money, let's talk about where most of it seems to disappear. Those daily expenses that add up faster than your unread emails during midterms. Let's talk about where your money actually goes. Most students think they're spending about $500 less per month than they actually are. I know because I tracked every single penny for 3 months, and the results were more shocking than finding out your crush is dating your roommate. Here's what my spending looked like, and I bet yours is similar. $15 for that study session coffee run, $25 for that quick Target trip that somehow turned into a home decor haul, and don't even get me started on those 2 a.m. food delivery orders that seemed like such a good idea at the time. But here's the interesting part. When I started tracking my spending, I realized I was wasting enough money each month to fund an entire spring break trip. And the craziest part? Most of it was going to things I didn't even remember buying. So, here's what we're going to do. Pull out your phone right now. Yes, literally right now. And download one of these money tracking apps. Now, let's break down the biggest money drains for students and how to fix them without completely destroying your social life. First up, food and drinks. The average college student spends $42 per week just on coffee and snacks between classes. That's $168 per month, or as I like to call it, a textbook and a half. Here's your new game plan. Get yourself a good insulated coffee tumbler. Even a $25 tumbler will pay for itself in less than a week. Make your coffee at home, and here's the pro tip. Make it slightly stronger than you like. By the time you get to class, it'll be perfect. For snacks, bulk buying is your best friend. But not just any bulk buying. Smart bulk buying. Those giant bags of chips might seem like a good deal, but let's be real. They'll go stale before you finish them. Instead, Get bulk nuts, dried fruits, and granola. Portion them out into reusable containers at the start of each week. Next up, subscriptions. Open your bank statement right now. Look at all those recurring charges. Netflix, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Premium, that meditation app you used once, the gym membership you swore you'd use this semester. On average, students are spending $93 per month on subscriptions they either don't use or could share with friends. Here's what you do. Make a spreadsheet right now. List every subscription you have. Next to each one, write down the last time you actually used it. Be honest with yourself. If you haven't used something in the last month, it's time to say goodbye. For the ones you keep, look into student discounts and family plans. Let's talk about textbooks because they're basically highway robbery with a course number. The average student spends $415 per semester on textbooks. Here's your strategy. Never, and I mean never, buy a textbook before the first week of class. Half the time, you won't even need it. When you do need it, rent digital versions when possible. For physical books, use sites like Chegg or find PDF versions online. Just make sure they're legal copies. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Social spending. I'm not going to tell you to become a hermit. Your mental health matters, but we can be smarter about how we socialize. Instead of meeting friends for dinner, suggest a potluck study session. Instead of going to the movies, host a Netflix party. The key is to shift from spending money to spending time. Here's a challenge for you. For the next week, before you buy anything, wait 24 hours. If you still want it after 24 hours and it fits in your budget, go for it. You'd be amazed how many must-have purchases become meh after a day. Let's talk about student discounts because you're leaving money on the table if you're not using them. Your student ID is basically a discount card on steroids. Amazon Prime student, Spotify student, Apple Music student. These aren't just nice to have, they're essential for our challenge. Make a list of every service you use and Google service name student discount. You might be surprised what you find. And here's something nobody talks about. Your student health insurance might be costing you money if you're still on your parents' plan. Check with your school's health center about which plan is more cost-effective. This alone could save you hundreds. Now let's get into the psychology of saving. Every time you're about to buy something, ask yourself, is this worth 3 hours of work at my part-time job? Breaking down purchases into hours worked makes spending decisions much clearer. Remember those daily savings goals we talked about? $33.33 per day. Let's break that down even further. If you can save $5 on coffee by making it at home, $8 on lunch by meal, prepping $10 on dinner by cooking, instead of ordering $5 on snacks by buying in bulk, $5 on entertainment by using student discounts. That's $33 right there, and you haven't had to give up anything. You've just gotten smarter about how you get it. Time for your next assignment. Take a picture of everything you buy for the next 3 days. Everything. That candy bar from the vending machine? Snap. That emergency printing fee? Snap. This visual spending diary will show you exactly where your money's going. And trust me, the results will surprise you. Now, speaking of surprises, let's talk about how to turn your existing expenses into savings opportunities. You've got your spending under control. Now let's talk about bringing in extra cash. The great thing about being a student, you've got skills people will pay for, even if you don't realize it yet. Remember that group project where you organized everything while your teammates were ghosting the group chat? That's project management experience. Those Instagram stories you make that your friends love? That's content creation. The way you explain complicated concepts to your study group? That's tutoring potential. Let's start with the easiest money you'll ever make. Your university will literally pay you to participate in research studies. Psychology department, business school, medical studies, they're all looking for participants. Sign up for your university's research pool, and you can make $20 to $50 per hour just for sharing your opinions or playing simple games. Next up, tutoring. But here's the secret. Don't just tutor in your major. Think about what else you're good at. Speak another language? That's $25 to $40 per hour. Good at standardized tests? SAT tutoring pays $40 to $60 per hour. Even basic computer skills like Excel or PowerPoint can earn you $20 to $30 per hour, helping older students or local businesses. Speaking of businesses, every local business around campus needs help with social media. They know they need to be on Instagram and TikTok, but they don't know how. That's where you come in. Start with small businesses you already frequent. Coffee shops, boutiques, restaurants offer to manage their social media for $300 to $500 per month. With 3 clients, That's your $1,000 right there. Here's a golden opportunity nobody talks about. Become a note taker for your school's disability services office. You're already going to class and taking notes anyway. Why not get paid for it? Most universities pay $15 to $20 per class session, and you're helping fellow students in the process. Got a car? Food delivery during peak times can net you $20 to $25 per hour. But here's the pro tip. Don't just stick to one app. Sign up for multiple services and cherry-pick the best orders. The real money is in those late-night library study session deliveries. Now, let's talk about the digital goldmine. Online freelancing. Sites like Upwork and Fiverr are full of quick projects perfect for students. Transcription, data entry, virtual assistants. These are all skills you already have from doing coursework. Start with small projects to build your profile, then scale up. Here's something most people miss. Your student status is actually an advantage in freelancing. Businesses love working with students because they know you're learning the latest tools and techniques. Use that in your pitch. Remote research and data analysis is another hidden gem. Companies will pay you to find information they could Google themselves just because they don't have the time. Start at $15 to $20 per hour and increase your rates as you get testimonials. Campus brand ambassador programs are another goldmine. Companies like Apple, Red Bull, and Nike hire students to promote their products on campus. The pay is usually $15 to $20 per hour plus free products, and it looks great on your resume. But here's the real secret to making this work. Stack your income streams. Don't just pick one method. Mix and match based on your schedule. Maybe you do research studies between classes, tutoring in the evenings, and social media management on weekends. Create a weekly schedule right now. Block out your classes first, then your study time. Those gaps in between, that's your money-making time. Even 3 one-hour gaps per day at $20 per hour adds up to $300 per week. And here's something crucial. Track your hourly rate for everything you do. If you're making $15 per hour doing data entry, but could be making $30 tutoring, it's time to shift your focus. Let's dive into how to manage all this without burning out. Managing multiple income streams while studying isn't about working harder. It's about building systems that work for you. Let's create your money automation blueprint. First, you need multiple bank accounts. Don't worry, I'm not talking about anything complicated. You need 3 accounts. Your main checking account, a high-yield savings account, and what I call your temptation buffer account. Here's how it works. Your main checking account is for fixed expenses only. Rent, utilities, phone bill, grocery budget. The high-yield savings account is where your $1,000 goal lives. The temptation buffer? That's your guilt-free spending account for coffee runs and late-night pizza. The key is automation. Set up your bank accounts so that the moment any money comes in, it's automatically split. For every $100 you earn, $50 goes to fixed expenses, $30 goes straight to savings, $20 goes to your temptation buffer. Now, let's supercharge this system with some tech. Download these 3 apps right now. Truebill for subscription tracking, Digit for micro-saving, and Fetch for receipt rewards. Truebill catches those sneaky recurring charges, Digit analyzes your spending patterns and saves small amounts you won't miss, and Fetch turns every receipt into points you can convert to gift cards. Here's where it gets interesting. Stack your rewards. When you need to buy something, go through your university's student discount portal first. Then use a cashback browser extension like Rakuten. Pay with a student cashback card. Scan the receipt with Fetch. 1 purchase, 4 types of savings. Let's talk about timing. Most students get financial aid or paychecks at the start of each month. The biggest mistake, waiting until the end of the month to save. The money that's left over after spending isn't savings. It's luck. Instead, transfer your savings the moment money hits your account. Create calendar reminders for everything money-related. Bill due dates, side gig schedules, tutoring sessions. When you get a notification about an upcoming bill, immediately check if there's a better deal available. Companies count on you being too lazy to comparison shop. Here's a power move. Set up what I call savings triggers. Every time you resist an impulse purchase, immediately transfer that amount to savings. Almost bought that $25 hoodie? Transfer $25 to savings. Skip the $15 takeout. Transfer $15. This turns saying no into a positive action. Let's address the elephant in the room. Emergencies. They're not a matter of if, but when. Take 10% of everything you save and put it in a separate emergency fund. Yes, this means your $1,000 goal technically requires saving $1,100, but this buffer will prevent you from raiding your savings when something unexpected happens. Now, let's talk about accountability. Find a savings buddy, someone with similar goals. Share your automatic transfer screenshots. Compare deals you've found. Turn it into a game. Who can find the best student discount this week? Who can get the highest cashback percentage? Here's something nobody talks about. Your university's financial aid office isn't just for scholarships. They often have emergency grants, work-study positions, and financial literacy programs that come with incentives. Schedule an appointment this week. Let's set up your progress tracking system. Create a simple spreadsheet with 3 columns. Date, amount saved, method. Every time money moves into savings, log it. This isn't just for tracking, it's for motivation. Watching that number grow is addictive. The real secret to making this work is building momentum. Small wins lead to bigger wins. Start with saving $5 a day for the first week, then $10 the next week, then $15. By week 4, you'll be hitting that $33.33 daily target without even thinking about it. And speaking of thinking, let's talk about your money mindset and how to stick to these habits long term. Building wealth as a student isn't just about the tactics we've covered. It's about rewiring how you think about money. Let's talk about making these changes stick beyond our 30-day challenge. First, understand that motivation is temporary, but systems are permanent. You won't always feel excited about saving money. That's why we set up those automatic transfers and multiple bank accounts. Your system works even when your motivation doesn't. Here's what separates successful savers from everyone else. They track their progress obsessively. Take out your phone right now and set 3 daily reminders: morning, afternoon, and evening. Each time that reminder goes off, check your spending and savings progress. The morning check is for planning. What expenses am I facing today? The afternoon check is for adjustment. How am I doing so far? The evening check is for reflection. What could I have done better? Remember those savings triggers we talked about? Let's expand them. Every time you get a good grade, hit a study goal, or finish a project, trigger a small savings deposit, even $1 or $2. This links saving money with achievement in your brain. Create a vision board for your money goals. Sounds cheesy, but there's psychology behind it. Take a screenshot of that dream spring break destination, that laptop you want, or that emergency fund goal. Make it your phone wallpaper. Every time you open Instagram to mindlessly shop, you'll see your real goal instead. Here's something crucial. Celebrate your wins, but not with spending. Hit your weekly savings goal? Don't reward yourself by buying something. Instead, track your money wins in a dedicated note on your phone. Reading through your past successes is more motivating than any purchase. Now, let's talk about peer pressure, because it's the biggest savings killer for students. Create specific scripts for common situations. I'm saving for something important right now, but let's do a movie night at my place instead. I'd love to join, but I'm working toward a financial goal. How about we try this free campus event? That sounds fun. Could we do it next month when I've hit my savings target? The secret is offering alternatives, not just saying no. You're not being cheap, you're being intentional. Remember, this challenge isn't about depriving yourself. It's about taking control. Every dollar you save is a vote for your future self. Every time you choose not to spend, you're not saying no to something. You're saying yes to your goals. Take out your phone one last time. Open your calendar and set a recurring monthly meeting with yourself. During this money date, you'll review your spending patterns, adjust your automation rules, celebrate your progress, plan for upcoming expenses, update your goals. This isn't just about saving $1,000 in 30 days. It's about building habits that will serve you for life. Every financial decision you make is like compound interest. The effects multiply over time. So here's your final assignment. Right after this video, share your biggest takeaway on social media with the hashtag Student1KChallenge. Then, go set up those bank accounts and automation rules we discussed. Finally, schedule your first money date for exactly 1 month from today. Remember, a year from now, you'll wish you had started today. Actually, no, you are starting today. You've already learned more about managing money than most people learn in years. Keep me updated on your progress in the comments below. Share your wins, your challenges, and your questions. This isn't just a challenge, it's a community. And together, we're going to transform how students think about money. See you in the comments, future money masters. Now go make that first transfer.